Come inside.
Welcome to week 12 of my internship at Microsoft as a cloud solution architect into data and AI. And let's start with Monday. Pretty much it was also a day with a lot of meetings because we had the final round down for the interviews for our internal project just to define the problem statement. Then also I had some meetings alongside the client that I'm working with just to define some of the steps, what we're going to do next, how we're handling the whole situation. Then of course I had a lot of times to put a bit on my thesis to just try to define what we're going to do, like play a bit with the flow, trying new experiments, trying to see different setups that I still need to set because we don't have a lot of time to do the prototyping. So I'm trying to figure out what are the most important things that we should add in this agent and add them as soon as possible. And of course then I also had a meeting with one of my mentors and we talk a lot about like what's exactly my next goal, where I'm going for and how do I achieve that, and what's the conversation that I should have with my managers to be able to get there. It's very interesting a lot of the times to understand how you need to put the conversation in order to get what you want, because a lot of the time it's not just thinking that you need to get it, but also like talking with specific people in order to be able and saying this is what I want and I don't know how we're making it happen, but you need to lead me to this no way or another. So it was a very interesting conversation. And then of course I had another 1 hour session with my team just to define a bit how we're going to do the data analysis. As I explained, we did a lot of interviews to get what's the problem, but then of course we have a lot of transcript, a lot of data, how we're going to do the thematic analysis, the topic analysis, like everything to actually have a good report at the end to give it back to leadership and be like, this is the main pain points and this is why this is happening and this is the wishes people have internally, which of course is going to be great. And yeah, pretty much that's shaped on Monday. Tuesday is finally done, and what a day have been. I literally been in back-to-back meeting from 9:30 a.m. until now at 5. So it's been a full day. So pretty much everything that happened today was mostly that we focus a lot on finalizing the last interviews in order to understand the problem that is between the two departments on like how they are doing the handover process. We're almost done. Tomorrow is the last day of the interviews and then we're ready to go in the data analysis. So a lot of information was there to be taken in, to put the right question, to know how to adjust it. So it's been a lot. And then I also had a meeting with one of my mentors, so it was great to be able to, on one side, it's so good for me to connect with my mentors because they are always there saying, oh, actually, I saw you and you're doing very good. Like the visibility is there because she was hearing about me in the meeting. So I think that was like a good point. On the other side, it was like, I always have a lot of questions prepared for those meetings that are like tackling it during the week. So it's good to be able to just go there and get my input in a way or another. And also to ask for maybe more opportunities if there is something there. And I actually managed to get something, so I think that was like a great opportunity for me in a way or another. I also had a lot of meetings on another project which is still internal on the dream space, so we had a meeting just to check out how is the form, how is the next step, just to like check in with each other and make sure that we're accountable about our task. And yeah, pretty much other than that it was just meetings about that one. And then I also had a book club, so we are doing internally a book club, so every month we're meeting discussing one book. So we met today just to like check in which book should be read next. So we pretty much that was it. It was just a lot of meetings, which sometimes those are the days here. Getting to Wednesday, and the day pretty much started with a challenge in a way or another because one of the older interns, so basically he's in his third internship, came up in a way or another with the challenge to me. Was like, how would it be instead of like getting my normal place at the office on Wednesday to go sit with him, and he's sitting where most of the leadership are sitting, and I was like, why not, let's see how this goes. So in the morning went with him, sit there, and like for me it's amazing because there is a full research going on with the fact that if you have like a person that is very committed to a work, way more productive than you in a way or another, you are more likely to get a 15% increase of your productivity. But if you are sitting near a person that is less productive than you, you are more likely to have a decrease of 30%. So this time I was like, I'm more sure I would be in the 15% increase, which of course happened because I was sitting with the manager of my manager basically. So I was a third level there, and like it was just amazing the idea to like sit next to him and like in a way or another be pushed to do more, even though it's just sitting next to the person. And of course, during the day, we also had some small talk, and I ended up maybe helping him with one of the agents, which of course for me got extremely excited. I was like, oh, I just changed my seat and opportunity just came. So this is a reminder that if you want things to change, you need to change your behavior, because if you're doing the same thing, it's impossible to get new results. So that was like one thing. And then of course it was the last day for interviews for our amazing internal project, so it was a lot of meetings, so a lot of interviews to be set up. Also I had an amazing brainstorming session with our chief of AI and data, and it was just great to sit down with him, like talk a bit about the process, what is my idea, what we can do, and then put some next steps for something that we want to collaborate together with, and let's see how that goes. And then yeah, it was just me in the meetings all the time, running from one part to another, trying to fit everything, and also learning a bit more about agents, how to build them, how do you need to consider them. And also I had a meeting with someone that is an expert in my view in Copilot Studio, and just had a sit down session with her talking about how to do my thesis, because I need to finalize basically my prototype by end of next week. So I was like, let me get some input, maybe I can do some stuff way more easier than I'm starting with, because being an expert, that means that you have way more information than me, which of course I got a way more easier way to do one thing that I was like, I don't want to do so many if clauses. And yeah, pretty much that was one. So Thursday, we pretty much was an incredible day with a lot of opportunities, and also again proving the fact that if you want something, you should ask for it, even though you're afraid to ask for it, basically. So I start my day simply with building some slides for two different projects that I'm working on. One, to try to do a sell-in, and second, to try to do a student presentation for some students that are coming from Germany to our office tomorrow to do a day in our life, basically. Then I went to a super amazing meeting with an extremely amazing woman that, of course, for me is one of my role models, to be honest. She's just incredible, and I think she's doing a great job. So pretty much she's an inspiration. So I was very glad when she accepted to have a meeting with me, and just to get some more advice, more tips, everything I can get basically from people. And then, of course, we did again lunch with the interns, which is absolutely, as always, amazing. Just like enjoying 1 hour of just talking. And then I jump into working on my thesis a lot, trying different things and experimenting, because I had a meeting yesterday with someone that is like an expert in Copilot in a way or another. So she gave me some advices and tips that I could experiment with, see if it's working for what I have in my vision for my agent. So it was really cool. Like I just spent 2 hours trying to build different things, and we need to put a lot of things in JSON. So like was like ongoing there. And of course we had also some clients meeting. Two of them were trying to troubleshoot different issues that are happening. To be honest, it's very complex, but I would just not get into too many details. But I hope at one point everything will be from troubleshooting to more talking about the right demo. And then I think the rest of the day is set up with sending some, I would call them maybe scary messages in a way or another, like type of messages that you need to send to leadership to ask if you can help with anything. And even though in a way or another you're just asking if you can help with something, it's a lot of the times, at least for me, it's like a bit scary, because I don't want to interrupt their time to try to bother them, because I know how important each minute of their time is pretty much is. So I was like, oh, should I send it or not? But then I was like, you know what, I really want to help if I can, so let me just send a message. In the end they can ignore it. One other person did reply, and we set up a meeting for next week. Another person will see tomorrow, because until now he didn't manage to reply, but also I sent it pretty late. So we'll see how everything shapes up. But again, in the end, I think, as I said at the beginning, I just put in my mind, okay, my goal is to get no's, so let's just do the most complex thing you can imagine, basically. And then of course even more work on just trying different things with my thesis. And yeah, pretty much that shaped the whole Thursday. Let's get into Friday. So today was a pretty full day. Most of my morning was spent into client meeting, trying to figure out a way we can solve different issues that just appear. So that was like a full work on going on, and then afterwards we got lunch with the interns, and also I got lunch with the team for college initiative. So after the lunch we got a coffee and tried to map what's going to come next, because we're going to have 2 different universities coming to Microsoft in May, and we need to set up who is going to be the speaker, with who we are going to talk, and pretty much do the organization part. After all of this, got some exciting activities in a way or another, because some students from a German school came to Microsoft, and one of my colleagues from Microsoft asked me and other interns to do a small presentation of 1 hour on journey of an intern at Microsoft. So it was very cool to just go there and just explain our journey, how did we get there, what we are doing. Pretty much a lot about talking about the lessons that we are learning, but also those lessons are what makes this internship a bit special in a way or another for Microsoft. I also posted about it on LinkedIn, so if you want to learn more about it, go there, have a look, because I share all the learnings. And after the whole presentation, I went back to my Dropbox basically, because I got the amazing chance, as I think I mentioned yesterday, to help one of my mentors in a workshop. So of course it was like me reading a bit through the documentation, just to understand where we're standing, what's the current solution, what we're bringing, pretty much just trying to understand where we're standing. And afterwards we did another round with going back to the German students, just to have a small chat, trying to answer some questions that maybe we didn't have the time to do so, like how we got the internship, what makes us successful in a way or another to get here, then also for the Spire, what makes you successful to get from internship to Spire. So it was a lot of conversation. I always love these types of talks, because I feel like that's the moment I have the in a way or another power to inspire the next generation, and like that chance to have to give back what I already received, for me is absolutely amazing. The reason why I'm doing everything in a way or another, because my main scope is to be able to inspire and give back what I learned. And then yeah, afterwards we went with the German students and also my cohort of interns, just to get some drinks, do some more talks, some networking in a way or another. And yeah, pretty much that was the day.